How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. Hine ma tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. The words of the prayer are in fact exactly as we translated. Hine ma tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. How sweet and how wonderful it is for all of us to be together here together. It is a wonderful thing. It is great an opportunity. Shabbat, as we in our tradition say, is a reminder that we are supposed to allow ourselves to give ourselves space to renew and refresh ourselves, to be able to live well, right? Music is made more whole, not necessarily by all of the notes that are played, but by the rest notes that help to accentuate the notes that are played. And that is true of life, that life itself can be fast and furious and quick, and what helps us create meaning in our lives are the rest notes that we have, the pause notes that ask us to refresh, reflect, renew, and to think, and just to be. It is a gift to just be here in this space. So, we want to invite you to give yourself that gift by letting the outside world be the outside world and giving yourself that gift of just being right here. If you have a phone, there's something that we call Shabbat mode. It looks a lot like an airplane, okay? They borrowed it from us, all right? And you can put your phone onto Shabbat mode, let the outside world be the outside world, just give yourself the gift of this space and this moment right here. What's also a gift is that the people who are here this morning, the people who are here, this is a unique configuration of people. There are people who are visiting, who are online, who are or at home just worshiping on a regular Shabbat morning, and they are at home. And so we welcome all of you who are watching this service and participating in the service from home or hospital rooms from around the world. We welcome you. And the people who are in here, in this sanctuary, it's a unique configuration. This group of people will never be in this space, exactly in this place, ever again. It's an oasis of time and space right now. So the first thing that we do is we welcome one another to this space by saying Shabbat Shalom to the people who are around us and actually orienting ourselves to the people who are right behind us and in front of us and to the left and the right. And some of whom probably were in your car today. We get that, right? But probably not all of whom were in your car, okay? So turn around, turn every direction, say hello, say Shabbat Shalom, and welcome one another to our congregation. Ella and Jamey are leading our regular Shabbat morning service here in our congregation. This is not a performance, this is a worship service. And it's a worship service that is participatory. It is a worship service that we invite all of you to participate in singing and reading along as they sing and as they help us to lead us in singing and reading. And you'll notice that there's a variety of things that are going to help you out. The first thing is that we do, even though the screens are currently blank as I'm speaking, we do have screens. And you'll notice the screens have all of the words. And if you find yourself wanting to use the screen, that's really great. It's very easy to do. And you will see that the Hebrew is on the screen, the English is on the screen, the transliteration from Hebrew into Latin letters on the screen. And if you don't know Hebrew, give it a try, right? It will probably not sound worse than things that I have heard in my life, I promise, okay? And if you sing and you don't know the tune, if you sing, Yida Dai or Lila Lai, whatever it is, great. That's awesome. That's a Jewish song right there, all right? The other thing that's also important is that there's a prayer book, and the prayer book is actually underneath your seat, generally speaking. So if you find yourself, you want to use the prayer book, and you can pick out the prayer book from underneath your seat, and the page numbers are actually on the lower right-hand side of the screen, and you can find your way, and we're going to announce some page numbers. But if you find yourself getting lost, don't worry, right? First off, look for the page number on the screen. Or secondly, if you just turn the page, that's generally where we're going to be, okay? It's a great Jewish secret. If you're lost, turn the page, okay? Our opening prayers that we sing in the morning are actually speak about our bodies and our souls, right? We give thanks for our bodies and our souls each and every morning, recognizing that the fact that we wake up and that everything works is a gift. And we give thanks for the souls that we have, for the gift of being here together. So we're going to continue with the words of Elohai Neshama.
In our evening service, we include a prayer called Hashkivenu. Hashkivenu is a prayer where we ask for God's protection while we sleep and for safety from enemies, illness, war, famine, and sorrow. People often compare Hashkivenu to a lullaby because it helps to acknowledge the things we might worry about when we go to sleep. I think this is true of many lullabies that may seem like a simple kid's song, but actually have a deeper meaning. People might think that lullabies are only made for children, but in reality, they have a message for everyone. Something I find interesting in Hashkivenu is that it asks God to shield and shelter us beneath the shadow of God's wings. This reminds me of a mother and a baby bird. A mother bird will protect her baby from the dangers that it faces. This imagery suggests that God has the ability to protect us as well. Hashkivenu also asks God to distance us from wrongdoing, which could mean that God points us away from paths that may not be right ones for us, which is another way of offering protection. This prayer helps us to remember that God will be there when we need God, that we will find help when we need help. When we have a sense that God is near, we can let go of our own fears. When we let go of fear and the things that hold us back, we become more confident, we are able to take on bigger risks, and achieve goals that might have seemed challenging before.
Later in the service, we will chant the Ve'ahavta. The Ve'ahavta is a quote from the Torah that is about loving God with all your heart in every second of every day, and teaching that love to your children. I've always loved this prayer ever since I first learned it at the Charlotte Jewish Day School. We would chant it every day as a part of tefillah. I remember when I was younger and I would lose my place, which happened a lot, I would always be able to rely on the word bam to be in the same spot, and it would help me find my place. Just as I chant the Ve'ahavta each day, the Ve'ahavta suggests that we should think of God and show love to God each day. Personally, I'm not thinking of God every single day. However, I do think about the daily routines, like waking up, following the steps of my morning routine, and going to school, and getting on with my day that this prayer suggests. These are just non-negotiables in my life. They are things that I have to do. It interests me to think about that the Torah suggests that we also need to move through these routines as a way of showing our love to God. It would be as if we said thank you to our parents in every moment of every day. I don't think of God in this way, and I also don't think of my parents every minute that I'm awake. Usually for me, I say thank you to my mom in response of an action that she's done to help me. I say thank you as a response to an action. Saying thank you is an important part of who I am. I really deeply appreciate all the little things that others do for me. I'm not sure if I regularly say thank you to God in the same way. I feel most connected to God when I'm in temple, but I also feel connected to God when something positive happens to me that I have no control over, in a sense, a miracle. When these everyday miracles occur, I get to sit next, like getting to sit next to a friend at school. I feel a sense of connection. I think, oh, that's so cool. In a way of a sense that, oh, cool, is kind of like thanking my mom when she helps me. Showing gratitude and saying thank you feels as natural to me as the Ve'ahavta suggests loving God should be. Perhaps when we honor and acknowledge those around us, it is in a way honoring God too.
Yalla lie lie lie, 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 yalla lie lie lie. Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Baruch hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Yalla lai lai lai, 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 yalla lai lai lai.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Yotzer or uvarei choshech, Osei shalom uvarei et hakol. Hameir la'aretz veladarim aleha berahamim. Uvtuvo ma'asesh bechol yom tamid. Ma'aseh bereshit. Ma'rabu ma'asecha Adonai. Kulam bechokma asita. Malal ha'aretz kinyaneha. Titbarach Adonai Eloheinu. Al shevach ma'aseh yadecha. Ve'al morei or she'asita. Yifarucha selah. Or kadesh al Zion ta'ir. V'nitzeh hulanu meharel oro. Baruch ata Adonai, Yotzer HaMe'orot. Wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol. All of these things your Torah gives to us, and the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem, Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed. Ata et Adonai Elohecha, bechol levacha uvkol nafshecha, uvkol meodecha, vehayu hadvarim ha'ele, asher anochi metzavecha, hayom alevavecha, v'shinatam levanecha, v'dibartam bam, v'shivtecha b'beitecha, uvleftecha v'derech, uvshofbecha uvkumecha, ukshartam leot al yadecha, v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha, ushtatam al mezuzot beitecha, uvisharecha, leman tiskeru, ve'asitem et kol mitzvotai, v'tem kedoshim lelohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem, asher hosei tietem me'eretz Mitzrayim, liot lachem Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem.
You have stayed long enough in this place, God said. Time to go forward. Turn your face to the future. Believe that you can cross the sea and survive. Inside you is the Moses. Within you Miriam dances. Unafraid. Lift up your voice and sing a new song.
שירה חדשה שיבחו גאולים לשמך שפת הים יחד כולם הודו והמליכו ואמרו
אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד
Tzur Yisrael kuma be'ezrat Yisrael, ufidechinu mecha Yehuda v'Yisrael, go aleinu Adonai tzevahot shemo kedosh Yisrael, Baruch atah Adonai Ga'al Yisrael.
Yelelai, yelelai, lai, lai, 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 yelelai, lai, lai. Adonai Sefata Tiftach Ufi Yagid Tehilateha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol v'Hagibor v'Hanorah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chastei Avot v'Imahot, Uv'Livli Gula Livnei Vehem, Leman Shemo B'Ahava, Melech Ozer U'Mashiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham v'Etzrat Sarah. Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayech Atah Rav Hoshea, Ma'aseh Yifravu Morid HaGashem, Mechayil Hayim Behesed, Mehayeh HaKol Rachamim Rabim, Psolef Noflim Ve'Rofer Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umechayim Emato Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Ba'akivurot, Umidom Elach, Melech Mimi, Umechayeh, Umatzmiya Min Shua, Ve'enamar Atalai Hayot HaKol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh
HaKol.
Teshet Shimcha Ba'olam, Keshem Shemachdim Oto B'Shmei Marok, Kakatuv Al Neviecha,
Ve'kara ze el ze
Amar, Kadosh, 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 Adonai Tzevaot, Melok kol haaretz, Kevodo.
Adir, Adirenu,
Adonai,
Adonenu, Adir Shimcha b'chol haaretz.
Baruch Kevod Adonai, Mim Kamo.
Echad hu Eloheinu, hu Avinu, hu Malkeinu, hu Moshienu, v'hu Yashmienu, v'rachamav le'enei kol chai. Ani Adonai Elohechem,
Yimloch Adonai le'olam, Elohai Yichion, le'dor v'dor. Hallelujah.
לנצח נצחים קדושתך נקדיש, בשבחך אלוהינו מפינו לא ימוש, לעולם ועד.
ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
ישמחו במלכותך שומרי 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 שבת וקוראי עונג שבת. ישמחו במלכותך שומרי 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 שבת וקוראי עונג שבת.
מקדשי שביב
שבת
כולם ישמחו ויתנגו מצווך.
שבת ישמחו במלכותך שומרי 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 שבת וקוראי עונג שבת. ישמחו במלכותך שומרי 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 שבת וקוראי עונג שבת.
והשביעי רצית בו וקידשתו.
שבת
חמדת ימים אותו קראת.
שבת ישמחו במלכותך שומרי 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 שבת וקוראי עונג שבת. ישמחו במלכותך שומרי 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 שבת וקוראי עונג שבת.
זכר למעשה וראשית.
שבת
זכר למעשה וראשית.
שבת ישמחו במלכותך שומרי 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 שבת וקוראי עונג שבת. ישמחו במלכותך שומרי 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 שבת וקוראי עונג שבת. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת.
We now take time for silent prayer. Say shalom bimroma. Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael. Ve'al kol yoshvei tevel. Ve'imru.
Amen. Ya da 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 ya da 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 ya da 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 ya da 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 ya da da ya da 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 ya da 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 ya da 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 ya da 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 da. Oh, say shalom bimroma. Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael. Ve'al kol yoshvei tevel. Ve'imru. Amen. We come now to Seder Kriyat Torah, the Shabbat, the service for the reading of the Torah on Shabbat morning. And our Jewish tradition tells us that our people received the Torah at a place called Mount Sinai. And they received the Torah that was supposed to be a gift, not just to the generation that existed in the desert, but as a gift for all future, a gift for the generations of Jews that would follow. And it was understood at the time that the way that our people could guarantee that gift would in fact last for an eternity would be to teach our young people the values of the Torah, the words of the Torah, to hold the Torah in their arms so that they could in fact carry on and then pass it lador vador from generation to generation. In other words, it wasn't up to our ancient ancestors who are no longer living to carry forth the Torah. It wasn't just up to the prophets and the sages and the cantors and the rabbis. It was in fact up to parents to teach their young people to carry forward with the values of the Torah. Each and every Shabbat morning, we have a moment where we sort of recreate that Sinai moment that happened thousands of years ago. And we recreate that Sinai moment by taking the Torah out of our virtual Mount Sinai, our ark, and then inviting the families to line up and to actually pass the Torah lador vador from generation to generation. And so we're going to do that this morning. But in order to do that, we have to invite a lot of people forward. So, Maddie, Friedlander, you are going to come up with your parents, Natalie and Spencer, who are going to come stand next to your sister, Ella. And then, to join, of course, Jamey up here is going to be her parents. And then Michael Cupitz and Mitchell Gelb and Carla Freeman and Suzanne Cruteau and Benjamin Woods and Ava Cruteau and Cameron Hightower, you're all coming up. And the other person that's important is that I'm going to invite your brother to come forward to undress the Torah. Come on up. You're not going to stand in line or exactly right there, but you're going to come stand right back up here. Perfect. You have a job. I promise. Okay. Are you excited? All right, good. All right. We're slightly unbalanced today, but that's okay. So it's just okay. Sometimes families are different sizes. We're missing all of you. So I invite you to please rise.
Ki mitzion tetzei Torah udvar Adonai miYerushalayim. Ki mitzion tetzei Torah udvar Adonai miYerushalayim. Baruch shenatan Torah le'amo Yisrael.
Okay, Jamey and Ella. Jamey, this is going to be a little more difficult for you. What I want you to do is I'm going to actually ask you both to come off the beam for 1 second and turn around and face your families, your respective families, okay? And if your brother's waving to you back there, just in case you can't see, just want to make sure, okay? I have a feeling that might not be the first time that's happened in your household. All right. So what I want you to do is I want you to take a moment and actually, even Jamey, if you need to go around the corner and go see, make sure to see the people around there, go for it. Just go look. Ella, what I want you to do is you have some family who are standing right in front of you, and I want you to take a look at your father and your mother and your sister. But also, right over here, I know that you have your grandmothers and you have members of your family, and you're going to say, just take a moment to look at them as well. These are the families that have lovingly taught the Torah and passed the Torah to you, l'dor v'dor, from generation to generation. And they are excited to pass it into your arms, to hold, to sing the words of Shema, and then to walk with the Torah in your life, and of course around the congregation too. So I invite you to go stand back in line, and we'll pass the Torah to you. Do you want to actually pass the Torah? Okay. Okay. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo. There's a follow. You're going to stay up here.
Every year before Thanksgiving, members of our family have started a tradition of planning and building gingerbread houses. I know what you're thinking, this is a weird way to start a Devar Torah, but stay with me, we'll get there. We start by creating a design and a model out of construction paper. Then, we figure out how much gingerbread we'll need. We make and bake the gingerbread. Then, we build and construct and decorate. My words don't do this process justice. This entire process has become a part of our family's Thanksgiving tradition, and it's something I want to pass down to my children and family, too. This is an awesome family tradition, but in truth, my family has many traditions. Some of them are non-religious, some of our traditions are Jewish, like having parts we read at the Seder, or ways we have celebrated Shabbat and the holidays, or even the prayers and blessings in the worship services. These are religious traditions and rituals that connect my family to the larger family and community of the Jewish people. I bring this up because of my Torah portion, Parshat Tzav, teaches the importance of tradition and passing Jewish rituals and knowledge from generation to generation. In my portion, we learn about the instructions for the priests who serve in the temple, about the clothes they wear, keeping the altar's fire burning, and offering animal sacrifices. Moses teaches his brother Aaron how to be the high priest. Aaron is commanded to teach his children the traditions through the detailed instructions. When I first read my Torah portion, I thought that someone had made a mistake. My dad had always said he had the worst, but in comparison, I think my Torah portion is up there with the most challenging for a 13-year-old to talk about. But I came to appreciate a few things. First, that the little details really matter. If you don't use enough flour, sugar, or molasses, the recipe doesn't work. When you're decorating, the small details can make a huge difference. The same is true in rituals. The ancient priests were obviously not making gingerbread houses, but they took care and considered the small details to fulfill their duties and responsibilities. Sometimes it can be easy to skip the small details, but often the little things matter and can have a big impact on our own lives and the lives of others. Second, traditions help us connect to our past and celebrate our ancestors. I know that in the future, when I celebrate Passover or make gingerbread houses, I'm always going to remember growing up, reciting the 4 questions, and decorating shoulder to shoulder with my family members. These memories connect me to the past, even as I create a future. The rituals and traditions that we preserve help us connect to the past, create memories, and preserve our values. Fortunately, none of my family's traditions include animal sacrifices or priestly clothing, but they do include meaningful and beautiful memories. Shabbat Shalom.
For the first Aliyah, I'd like to invite forward Larry, Michelle, PJ, and Danley Friedlander, the West Coast Friedlanders, if you will come forward. Hi, guys. All right, on the count of 3, ready? 1, 2, 3. Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Ha'amim V'natan Lanu Et Torato Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen.
Vayidaber Adonai El Moshe Lemor Tzav et Aharon v'banav lemor Zot Torah ha'olah hi ha'olah Mokeda el hamizbeach kol halayla ad haboker ve'esh hamizbeach tukad bo Ve'lavash hakohen mido vad u'michnasei vad Yilbash al bisaro Ve'herim et hadeshem asher tochal ha'esh et ha'olah al hamizbeach v'samo eitzel hamizbeach. Baruch atah Adonai
Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu Baruch atah Adonai noten HaTorah.
Amen. We say Yesher Koach to you for honoring Shabbat and for honoring the Torah today, for honoring Ella, and we say, not Yesher Koach means keep up the strength. Around these parts we say keep pounding. But keep up the strength, and you're going to give her a hug as you go stand on the other side of Cantor Thomas. Hopefully there's not a major battle up here. We're going to invite some of the East Coast contingent of the Friedlander family to come forward. Spencer, Natalie, and Maddie. Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Leolam Va'ed.
Ufashat et bigadav v'lavash bigadim acherim v'hotzi et hadeshem al mikus l'machaneh al makom tahor ve'ish al hamizbeach tukad bo lo tichbeh uviyer aleha hakohen etzim baboker ba'arach aleha ha'olah V'hiktir al hamis aleha ha'helvei ha'shelamim eish tamid tukad al hamizbeach lo tichbeh. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam atah b'tochenu.
Amen. And we say Yesher Koach for honoring Shabbat and honoring Torah, for all of the things that you do to make community possible in our community, for raising awesome kids and for being a big sister, and a good big sister, at least 95% of the time. But really good. Come give Ella a big hug.
Okay, Ella, for the honor of the third Aliyah today, it is our privilege to call you as a bat mitzvah to the Torah. Talmud, Eliana bat Shimon v'Natalie, habat mitzvah la Aliyah la Torah.
Baruch et Adonai Hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bahar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'Torah.
Amen.
V'zot Torat hamimcha hakrevota b'nei Aharon lifnei Adonai el penei hamizbeach. Veherim mimenu bekumso mislo et hamincha umishamna ve'et kol halivana asher al hamizbeach vehiktir hamizbeach reach nichor azkarata ve'adonai vehanoteret mimena yochelu Aharon uvanav matzot te'achel B'makom kadosh, b'chatzar ohel moed yocheluha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam atah b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'Torah.
Amen. And we say aloud, Yesher Koach. for honoring Shabbat and honoring Torah in our community, for teaching us beautifully, for becoming a bat mitzvah, and for taking a deep breath. Mazel tov to you. Did a beautiful, beautiful job. You can go take a seat as we invite Jamey to come forward. Just a reminder. Hold on 1 second.
I have attended Camp Coleman for many summers. I love going to camp because at camp I've made friends from Atlanta, Florida, and all over the Southeast. We are all Jewish and we are able to connect as one community, singing songs, prayers, and dancing, and celebrating. One of my favorite parts about camp is when we celebrate Shabbat. The camp has a special tradition where everyone dresses up and wears white clothing. This is pretty different from the shorts and t-shirts that people wear every single day. So, what does this have to do with my Torah portion? My Torah portion, Parashat Siva, includes many details about the clothing that the priests wear. In this parasha, we learn about the elaborate garments that the priests must wear when performing their duties in the tabernacle. The clothings include a linen tunic, a sash, a headdress, and other accessories. While the clothing may seem like just a detail in the story, it actually holds a lot of meaning. The clothing is symbolic of the priest's role and the responsibilities in the community. It sets them apart as religious leaders, helping the people connect with God. Traditions and rituals can help us create community too, but sometimes I think that people overlook the role of clothing in creating a sense of community. At Camp Coleman, we wear white clothing on Shabbat. We feel connected to a greater whole. This small detail created a powerful sense of unity among the campers and staff. We all wear the same white clothing, regardless of our backgrounds or differences, and it gives us a sense of belonging and shared identity. I can attest to the importance of clothing in creating a sense of community, whether it's wearing matching gymnastics leotards, or a sports team jersey, or a camp t-shirt. Clothing has the power to unite people and create a sense of belonging. The clothing worn by the priests in my Torah portion is not just a superficial detail. It represents their role in the community and their relationship with God. While we live thousands of years after the priests of ancient Israel, we know that clothing in our own lives can have the power to create a sense of community and belonging. Whether it's wearing white on Shabbat, at camp, or another form of dress that unites us, we should remember the importance of clothing in bringing people together. Shabbat Shalom.
For the fourth Aliyah, I'd like to invite forward Anita Kupitz, Wayne Plump, Burnett Plump, as well as Melinda and Jeff Hightower, and Lindsay and Andrew Large. Come on up. Accompanied by a baby. Who's sleeping? It's never too early to have a first Aliyah. Who's reading English? Are you guys doing English? Okay, hold on for 1 second. Okay, hold on for 1 second. Yeah, can you read the English? This first stanza right here. Yep. Just the first, just right here.
Your presence fills creation. You have enlightened this path with the wisdom of Torah, giving it to the Jewish people as their particular way. Blessed are you, merciful one, who gives this Torah to the Jewish people.
Thank you. Hold that for 1 second. Okay. Baruch et Adonai Barak. Baruch Adonai Barak Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Adonai Barak Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Ata Adonai Haolam asher bachar banu mikol hamim, v'natan lanu et Torato.
Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Vayedaber Adonai el Moshe lemor, kach et Aharon ve'banav ito, ve'ei habegadim, ve'ei shemen hamishcha, ve'ei par hachatat, ve'ei shnei ha'elim, ve'ei so hamatzot, ve'ei kol ha'edah hake'el petach ohel moed. Vayas Moshe ka'asher tziva Adonai oto, vatikahel ha'edah el petach ohel moed. Vayomer Moshe el ha'edah zeh hadavar asher tziva Adonai la'asot.
Baruch atah.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'yahyeh olam natan b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
HaTorah.
Holy One of blessing, your presence fills creation. This Torah is a teaching of truth, whole and balanced, and from it comes eternal life for the people who embrace it. Blessed are you, merciful one, who gives this Torah to the Jewish people.
Thank you so much. We say Yesher Koach to you. Keep up the strength for honoring Torah, for honoring Shabbat, for honoring the Jewish people on this day. We thank you so much for being here. And of course, the person who really most wants a hug is Jamey. She's right here. Come give her a hug. It's my pleasure to invite forward your sister Cameron to bring up your parents, Hope and Steve, for the second Aliyah, and accompanied by your brother. Come on up. Come on, definitely. Yes. Let's just do it. All right. Absolutely. Come close. All right. On the count of three. Ready? Baruch Adonai Hambarach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Leolam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Vayikrev Moshe et Aharon v'et banav, vayirat otom b'mayim, vayitein alav et hakutom. Tone, vayachgor oto ba'avnei, vayabesh oto hameil, vayitein alav et ha'ephod, vayachgor oto, v'cheshev ha'ephod, vayapod lo bo, vayasem Moshe et ha'choshen, vayitein el ha'choshen et ha'urim v'natunim, vayasem et ha'mitznefet al rosho, vayasem al ha'mitznefet elu panav, zit ha'sahav nazer ha'kodesh ka'asher tiva Adonai et Moshe.
That was great. Oh, no. Baruch atah
Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chaye olam natan b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. I don't know that I could read the Hebrew perfectly when it was facing me, but we say Yesher Koach for honoring Torah and honoring for Shabbat, for raising great kids in our community, and for being awesome siblings, and of course to give a big hug to Jamey.
Okay, Jamey, it is our privilege to call you as a bat mitzvah, Jamey Francis Hightower. Tamod Aviva Cherut Bat Chaya Shena Vistiv Habat Mitzvah La Aliyan La Torah.
Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamborach.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamborach Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bahar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai noten ha'Torah.
Amen.
Vayikach Moshe et shemen hamishcha vayimshav et hamishcham v'et kol asher bo vayikadesh otam vayaz mimenu al hamizbeach sheva pe'amim vayimshach et hamiznefet v'et kol kelav v'haki or v'et kono l'kedishan. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'Torah.
Amen. And we say out loud, Yesher Koach. For honoring Shabbat and honoring Torah, for becoming a bat mitzvah in our community, for teaching us beautifully. And I know that you're going to take a deep breath right now. It was awesome. Really beautiful job. Mazel tov. As we have our Torah out, each and every Shabbat, we take time to think of those in our community who are in need of healing, a healing of mind and body and spirit and soul. And the names of the people that we're thinking about in our community are on the screen. These are people who are in hospital rooms and sometimes at home. Sometimes they're the people who are right next to you. They're people who we are thinking about, for whom sometimes living each and every day feels like a challenge. For sometimes it feels like there is difficulty just putting one step in front of the other. But when we say this prayer, when we sing this prayer, we recognize that they are not alone. And it's a mirror to us to call them and to connect with people in our own lives who are in need of healing, so that people know that part of wholeness comes in the way that we embrace. So as my eyes go around the congregation, I want to invite you to say names either out loud or silently in your own heart, to add names to our own list of people that you're thinking about on this Shabbat, people who need healing. And we'll pray for them all together as a community. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Baruch atah Adonai Rofeh Cholim. Blessed are you, O God, who supports and comforts those in need.
Who blessed
with refuah shlema.
The renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
I invite forward PJ Friedlander to help lift the Torah. And I ask the congregation to please stand. Guys, can you get the Torah cover?
Zota Torah asher sam Moshe lifnei bnei Yisrael al pi Adonai beyad Moshe. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la. Ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la la, ya la la la, ya la la la. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la.
Thank you. No, I just want to remind you.
I want to begin by thanking all of my teachers and Madrahim, the tutors, Rabbi Knight, and Kenner Thomas for helping me prepare for this day. I also want to thank Rabbi Nichols for making my talit with so much care and love. Mazel tov to Jamey, to you and your family. Thank you for sharing this day with me. I want to thank all of you for coming to share this special day with Jamey and me. I especially want to thank my family and friends for being here. I want to thank my friends for all their support while I've stressed just a little bit about my bat mitzvah over the last 3 months. To my aunts, uncles, and cousins, thank you for being here, whether you came from California or nearby. I love and appreciate the time we get to spend with each other, whether it's for the holidays or other special times, or when you share your interests with me. I look forward to celebrating with you later. On this day, I'm thinking of my grandpa, who is no longer living. Although you are no longer with us, I feel your presence here, and I know you are listening. Grandma, I always look forward to spending New Year's Eve together, and I love the sleepovers that we have had. I look forward to celebrating and having fun with you. Thank you. Nana, I love making gingerbread houses with you every year and seeing the cool crafts and projects you make. Thank you for encouraging me to be creative. Maddie, I love being able to walk to school with you every day. I know you judge me on my love of movies, but I want you to know, I love movies, no matter your big sister judgment. Speaking of movies, Mom, I love being able to talk about movies and pop culture with you. You're always ready to make a funny sticker, support me, and help me. I love you. Dad, I love playing golf with you. Thank you for getting me lessons and supporting me to beat you one day in a round of golf. I know we're both looking forward for that happening. I love you. Mom and Dad, please join me on the bima.
May your eyes shine with the light of Torah.
And your face be radiant as the brightness of the sky.
May your lips speak words of wisdom.
And may the world you live in be the world of your dreams.
May you see your world created in your lifetime.
And may you see your vision come to be.
May your hope touch every generation to come.
These are the prayers we have for you.
May you be blessed with understanding.
With wisdom and compassion in your heart.
May your tongue be filled with song.
And may your lips sing out for justice.
These are the prayers we have for you.
On this day of my bat mitzvah, I have so much to be grateful for, like the madrahim, teachers, tutors, rabbis, and cantors who helped me to learn and prepare. Mazel tov, Ella. Thanks for being my partner and for leading with me today. You did a great job. I'd also like to thank my Camp Coleman friends. I've met really great friends through camp, and I feel lucky to have formed special bonds with the girls in my cabin over the years. Thanks to all my friends for being here and supporting me. I'm grateful for my grandparents, family, and friends. You have all been with me for various parts of my life, and you have helped me during tough times. To my older sister, Cameron, and my little brother, Brody, thank you for always making me laugh when I'm sad. Even though we sometimes fight, you are both the best siblings I could ever ask for. I love you both so much. Finally, I'd like to thank my mom and dad. Thank you, Dad, for always being able to make me smile and laugh with your silliness. Thank you, Mom, for always being understanding whenever I need to talk. I would never be who I was today if it wasn't for the both of you. I love you both so much. Mom, Dad, please join me on the bima.
It was a little over a year ago. We were at a gymnastics meet in Greenville, South Carolina. Your team was on vault. I looked away for what felt like a split second, and when I looked back, there was a large commotion on the gym floor. There, just shy of the vault, was a gymnast lying on the ground, legs propped up on the vault in what looked to have been a terrible vaulting accident. I said a silent prayer to myself, please don't let that be Jamey. But it was you. I sat on the sideline while the coaches helped you compose yourself and limp off the mat to take a seat and watch the rest of your teammates compete. When the last gymnast had finished, they asked you, do you want to try again? Of course you did. Not only did you have the resilience to try again, but you left that afternoon with the gold medal for highest score in vault in your age group. If that is not a testament to who you are, I don't know what is. You literally got knocked down, got back up, and won. And in a moment of bragging, fast forward to the same competition this year in Greenville, where you won gold in every event in your age group, and overall in your age group. Jamey, you are a wonder. You are uniquely you. Since you were little, people have stopped to tell us that what they thought was incredible about you. Strangers stopped us. It happened all the time. But they were telling us something we already knew and become more certain of every day. You are one of a kind.
We couldn't be more proud of you. We couldn't be more proud of you. We couldn't be more proud of the work that you put in to prepare for your bat mitzvah. You'll have kids one day, you'll understand. I've been known to shed a tear here or there. We know it wasn't easy, but as usual, once you set your mind to something, you succeed. You are unafraid to try new things. You are so talented in school and in sports. You are compassionate, a little goofy, a free spirit, and have an amazing soul. We love you so much, and we are incredibly proud not only of this wonderful accomplishment, but of who you are growing to be as a person. We know that there will be many, many more moments to be proud of you in the future. Just keep working hard, keep being brave, keep being uniquely you. As we all like to sing at the top of our lungs in our car with Sia, you are unstoppable.
We love you.
Don't laugh at Joe, man.
Spencer and Natalie, if you'll come join us up here. Hold on for 1 second. Stay right here.
You're going to stay here. Why don't we open this over?
Invite the congregation to please rise. Hi, guys.
We're going to stand right here.
You can face the ark. Yeah, okay, that's much better.
Jamey and Ella, you have been such a blessing to all of us today. through your leadership, through your spirits that pour forth from you, through you sharing with us just a little bit of who you are, you have blessed all of us. So now we're going to join together and give you a blessing. This week's Torah portion, which you so ably taught us about, one of the things that we learn in it is that we were commanded in ancient days to give a sacrifice of well-being when we went through something really hard, something where perhaps we were wandering in the wilderness or faced a tumultuous sea voyage, that we would give a sacrifice of thanksgiving when we had gotten to the other side. And Torah tells us that not only do you give this sacrifice, but that you actually eat the sacrifice and you have lots and lots and lots of friends over to make sure that everybody eats the sacrifice together and that you leave no leftovers. So basically it's saying when you've gotten through something really hard, you have a party and you share that with your neighbors, with your friends, with the people who care about you. And I'm not saying this because I know you both are going to celebrate today, but because part of what Torah is teaching us is that when we're really grateful, when we have real gratitude that comes from inside of us, it can change the way we are in the world. It changes the way that we bring people together, and it changes the way we bring joy to those around us. So in the way that you are both so special, in the way that you dedicated yourselves to this process, in the way that maybe you hide tiny ducks around the synagogue, or perhaps stop strangers on the street just for noticing how special you are, that gratitude that is inside of you will lead the way that you live your lives. So, it's our turn to give you a blessing. I'm going to chant the blessing in Hebrew. Rabbi Knight will offer those words to you in English. And after the English, each time you have a part to play, let's practice. Cain.
Cain.
Yehi.
Yehi.
Ratzon.
Ratzon.
We'll put it together.
Cain Yehi Ratzon.
May this be God's will after the English. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha.
May God bless you and keep you. Cain Yehi Ratzon.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka.
May God's radiance shine upon you and be gracious to you. Cain Yehi Ratzon.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasim lecha shalom.
And may God be with you in your life, whether in the gymnastics routine or on the golf course, in the ways in which you bring joyous laughter and love into this world. And may God bless you with shalom, with peace and shlemut, wholeness and love. Ken Yehi Ratzon. May this be God's will, and let us all say,
Amen.
We're going to continue with the words of Aleinu L'Shabeach, which are found on the screen.
Aleinu L'Shabeach la'Adon ha'kol, la'ateit gedula li'yotzer Bereshit, shelo asanu kegoyei ha'aratzot, velo samanu k'mishpechot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam, va'anachnu korim, umishtachavim umodim, lifnei melech malchei hamelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, v'ne'emar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz, bayom hahu, yeh Adonai echad, u'shemo echad.
Please be seated. You guys be seated. Thank you. Thank you. Judaism teaches us that we live layered experiences, that we live lives where we recognize that love and loss, that life and death are all part of single experiences. We recognize that life is complex and nuanced, and that there is a reality in which even when we celebrate joy, we recognize the pain of loss. And we remember our loved ones at each and every service. People who died at this season in years past, people who have died recently, people whom we have drawn into our hearts as our own. On this Shabbat, our community remembers Daniel Burrell, Patricia Burke, David Bonheim, James Robert Brock Sr., Joyce Axelman Franklin, Sheldon Friedman, Miriam Adina Garrison, Robert Lieberman, Kevin Long, Kendall Ross, Lawrence Saltwell, Rachel Reisner Selden, and Emery Zabo. We mark with sympathy those whose yard sites through the anniversaries of the deaths are this week: Thomas Barrett, Louis Borrow, Rita Botwinick, Jerry Bernstein, Rinky Cardoza, Robert Shamau, Natalie Chesler, Jenny S. Cohen, Herbert Seymour Cohen, Elaine Selma Kojak, Maggie Cook, Mildred Deitch, Albert Edelstein, Bernard Eisner, Kalman Furster, Harold Furstein, Devorah Friedman, Lillian Fennell Freeman, Harry Friedberg, Andrew Nove Gartner, Arthur Gaines, Gazelle S. Goldstein, Edward Graham Green, Herman Greenblatt, Mary Gross, Pinky Hassan, Robert Herman, Harry Jackaway, Harris Kahn, Rosalind Krause, Ruth Lakin, Mortimer Levitt, Raoul Lewin, Michael Lichtstrahl, Helen Mayer, William McGuire, Donald Mallins, Gertrude Book Mandelbaum, Gregory Margolis, Helen Melman, Lloyd Merkelson, Guadalupe Morales, Sylvia Nalaboff, Albert Niego Leon, Bonnie Pearl, Rivi Pfeffer, Anna Pointer, Gertrude K. Salvin, Jacob Schwartzber, Bertha Seaman, Leo Shane, William Julian Shahan, Louis S. Buddy Simon, Calvin Singer, Israel Smith, Jean Smolin, Arnold Spatz, Lee Starr, Bernice Stern, and also Michael M. Werner. Ella's family wishes to remember on this day Alan Friedlander, Moo and Gabe Friedman, and Mimi Manpel. And Jamie's family wishes to remember Ben Freeman, Edith Rubin, Morris Rubin, William Carl Kibler, Mary Margaret Kibler, William Hightower, Flora Hightower, Robert Hornbuckle, and Francis Hornbuckle. Remember as well all who died in the Shoah and the Holocaust, our servicemen and women and first responders who have given their lives for our freedoms, and those who died defending the state of Israel. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be for a blessing as we stand as one congregational family to recite the words of Kaddish Yatom, the mourner's Kaddish, thanking God for the lives that were lived. Yitkadal vayitkadash shemei rabbah, Be'alma divra churute v'amlich malchute v'chayechon uvyomechon uvchaye d'chol Beit Yisrael ba'agala v'zman kari v'imru amen. Yehi shmei rabba mivarach le'olam olamei olamaya yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yithalev v'yithalal shmei dekudashah barichu Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, da'amiram be'alma v'imru, amen. Yehe shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. O say shalom bimromav, huya aseh shalom, Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen.
Ose shalom bimromav, uya'aseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru. Amen.
Well, I feel bad for Jamey and for Ella because we finished before noon, and the rule is that if we do that, we have to do the service all over again.
But that's when we used to start at 11 o'clock, Rabbi Knight.
Well, it is April Fool's, so there we go. We're going to invite you to come forward with your immediate families to come for Kiddush and Hamotzi. The Friedlander, those who are here for the Friedlanders are going to go into the David Silverman Social Hall immediately afterwards for a celebration, and the Hightower families know where you're going, and guests know where you're going right afterwards. We're going to conclude this morning by singing, of course, the words of Shehechianu, which is a prayer that thanks us not only for God for giving us life, but for sustaining our lives to help us reach joyous occasions just like this. And then we'll conclude with Kiddush, with the blessing for wine, which is our symbol, or grape juice today, which is our symbol of joy, for having some challah from sustenance that comes from the earth. And then, of course, we'll say Shabbat Shalom to each other and a Mazel Tov, and have an opportunity to celebrate with one another.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kiyamanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen l'chaim.